Hey P2P members, welcome back to our daily joint mobility series. We're working on the shoulders again today, so we're gonna add on to circles and do some shoulder figure eights. Awesome movement for the cerebellum. Anytime we do some complex movement, the cerebellum, a really important brain area, loves that. And so the other one that we're gonna work on is the train wheel. And that one's for the shoulder blade. So we're gonna get the shoulder blade gliding over the ribs. I'll show you that one first. Let's go ahead and assess something. So since we're working on the shoulders today, let's actually test hips again. So let's see what your dynamic leg swing looks like. And it's okay to hold on to something if you feel more comfortable with this, but we're gonna swing the leg up in front of the body and just test that right to left. Which side moves a little better, maybe which side doesn't. You can warm it up. Do a few reps. And it's a little bit tighter for me on the left leg. At the top there, feel more of a stretch. So we'll come back and just assess that dynamic flexibility. Dynamic flexibility, by the way, is a fantastic way to improve flexibility, improve your suppleness. Holding static stretches has been found, especially recently in the research, to not actually be the best way to improve the length, tension relationships in the muscles, and to improve your overall range of motion, especially active range of motion, which is the most important and actually helps you stay injury free. If we have good active range and it's close to your passive range, like how far I can actually push a joint through a range of motion or assist you with that, the closer that gap, the better in terms of injury prevention. But if you have really awful active range, like we can only bring the shoulder up to here, but then your passive range, I can push the arm all the way up to here with assisting you, that's an issue. And the bigger that gap between active and passive, the higher the risk of injury and the higher the injury rate. So really valuable to practice dynamic flexibility. Okay, so just get that test as a baseline, get an idea for how high the legs are going, how that feels right to left side. All right, from there, we're gonna go ahead and start with the shoulder blade train wheel. So I want you to bring the arm out. We're gonna make a loose fist, and we can do different angles with this one too, similar to the shoulder. Today we're gonna focus on one kind of primary angle called the shoulder scaption plane, or the scaption angle. So we're gonna bring the arm about 30 to 45 degrees off to the side of the body, where it's not punched straight forward. It's slightly out to the side. And notice I'm not way out here reaching straight laterally either. It's an angle, again, 45 approximately degrees. Then we're going to shrug and pull the shoulder blade up. Then we're gonna pull it back. We're gonna press it down. So as the shoulder blade goes, sometimes the shoulder and the arm will also follow, and then drive it forward. Okay, so I'm gonna turn around to show you where I'm actually targeting. So I'm going to try to point to that spot so that you can see the shoulder blade hopefully moving over the ribs here. Good. So we're getting that shoulder blade to glide over the ribs, creating a lot of muscle activation in the muscles around the shoulder blade in that upper back area. Same thing on the other side, so we're going to reach out slightly to the side and then pull that shoulder blade up and back and down and forward, and then start to glide that out. So our four corners, up, back, down, forward, and then you can start to smooth it out so it creates more of a gliding, smooth, controlled motion, hopefully. If it's not, that's okay. Keep working on it and make a note, maybe qualitatively in your training journal, this is one to highlight or come back to, and maybe it's just one side or the other. So from there, let's go back to our reassess. So we're gonna do that dynamic leg swing again and get an idea. Same, better, worse. And it's a little bit better for me. I don't have as intense of a stretch on the left leg either as I get towards end range. So hopefully it was a good one for you as well. We're gonna move to shoulder figure eights next. And so the shoulder figure eight, we're gonna make a loose fist. We're gonna extend the elbow again, and we can do top to bottom figure eights. and then we can switch direction. And you can play around with things like accuracy on this. So if you find two spots that you can see in space just past your fist, and you can do your top loop around one point and do your bottom loop around the other point, that's going to add some specificity to that figure eight. Hopefully that makes sense. You're drawing a very accurate figure eight in space, trying to get around two specific points that you're sort of wrapping the arm around. So I'm looking past my fist to two spots on the floor in this case, and I'm trying to do the top loop around one spot, the bottom loop around another spot a little bit closer to me. That's the figure eight. Let's go back and retest the hip range of motion. So go ahead and go. If you, again, need to hold on, please do. Dynamic leg swings. And those feel pretty good. Hopefully you got an improvement out of those. We can also go to horizontal figure eights, so let's practice those together too. And again, you can pick 2 points, maybe on the floor close by to you if you have some patterning in the carpet or flooring, or if you wanted to put a couple tennis balls out on the floor, you could work on getting the arm around one tennis ball, kind of drawing that figure eight with some specificity to it. Switch direction, hopefully you did. And let's go to the other side. So we're going to figure eight on that second side. Switch direction. You don't have to go at the speed that I am either. You can go slower at first. Make that figure eight nice and specific. And then over time you can gradually ramp up the speed and intensity. Good. Let's retest. So go back to the hip range of motion, get an idea. And for me, it's definitely feeling better than where we started. I hope it was a good drill for you too on shoulder figure eights and shoulder blade train wheels. Keep moving, way to stick with it, and I'll see you in the next daily mobility video.